What is up, everybody? Happy Thursday. We're going to go over this really quick here as everybody else pretty much covered it, but I'm going to do it a little bit more locally. So you can see the current radar right now. We've got this snow band right here moving through the southern OKC region into eastern Oklahoma. We've got some mixed precipitation here. Falling from Wichita Falls all the way into Little Rock. It's going to be making its way into Memphis here soon. There is some really cold air on the back side of this back here, so we're probably going to see some bigger snow bands possible back here on the back edge as that continues to go through. But there's not a whole lot of historical data on this, so it's kind of hard to call that. So we'll just have to, forecast it by ear as this thing goes along. Expecting the biggest snowfall range to be right here, and right here you could see anywhere from 7 to 12 inches. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if you see 5. Also, wouldn't be surprised if you see 12. But the heaviest area is probably going to be right through here. Memphis probably going to get a good bit of snow. So we'll go into the models here. We're close enough now that I'm pretty confident in being able to give you guys a forecast. So this actually did push north a little bit, so I think that the GFS is still over exaggerating the moisture on the transition zone right here. Let's see if we can actually get a... We'll do this first. Make sure we got a full... We'll go to the 18Z runs. We don't have a full 19Z on the HRRR yet. But as you can see, moving into 8, 9 o'clock tonight, this is going to really be dumping some snow on Oklahoma and Arkansas right there. Almost the entire state of Oklahoma is going to get some kind of snow at some point. And this is eventually going to cover the entire state of Arkansas. Pretty much all of the state of Missouri right here, except for maybe that northwestern tip. As we move into the early morning hours, about 1, 2 a.m., a little bit after midnight, this is going to start becoming heavy snowfall here in Memphis, moving into western Alabama. And we could see sleet by 3 or 4 a.m. all the way from, Tuscaloosa all the way to Atlanta, just depending on how this thing plays out. But we are going to start seeing some heavy snowfall here, specifically in North Alabama, around 4 to 5 a.m. It could come in a little bit earlier than that. It just depends on if this thing accelerates a little bit. But I'm pretty confident that when you wake up at 6 a.m., it will probably already be snowy outside. Now, we're really watching this line here because this is what's really going to create some travel problems, and this is the reason that I want to go live and let you guys know now. I can guarantee you that here in North Alabama we are going to see some snowfall, anywhere from 3 to 7, maybe even 8 inches. Some places is going to see more than other places, and that's just kind of the way one of these systems works, especially where these heavy bands set up here, where you can see this darker blue next to this lighter blue. So you can expect some heavier snowfall back over towards here and less snowfall south of this line right here. But my concern is this transition period. So let's fast forward a little bit here, and you see close to lunchtime around 10 a.m. a lot of this, especially into Madison County right here in Huntsville, is going to start transitioning into mixed precipitation. So you're going to have freezing rain, sleet, and snow falling, and then this could actually transition over to just freezing rain around 6 p.m. We are going to have some accumulated snowfall before that, but with this line shifting north here, it has kind of dampened how much snow that we will get. I was expecting probably around 5 to 7 inches for the city of Athens, and maybe closer to 3 to 5 for South Limestone County. Now we're looking at, we'll probably get 3 to 5 still, but I think there's going to be some mixed precipitation with it. So it's not going to be the best snow, but we will get snow. I'm really worried for this freezing rain on the backside with this really frigid air that's going to be behind this storm system here. This is extremely cold. And as this pushes in behind all of this rain and all of this mixed precipitation over this line, it could be possible to see some freezing roads and some accumulated ice with maybe even some power outages. Even as far west as Madison County here, we could see some even in Atlanta, and some in especially the lower elevations here in northeastern Alabama. The higher elevations will most likely just get snow, but I am not super confident that we can rule out ice just yet. Even up to maybe even a tenth of an inch of ice is possible in some of these places. Now, that snow at the beginning is going to help with that, but We can't help be concerned that there may be some ice accumulation here after lunchtime on Friday, guys. So that ride home from work in the evening, you may need to give yourself some extra time and make sure you got a full tank of gas, stuff like that, because it could be starting to get kind of slippery as we go home. We could see some more snow banding on the backside as this comes through around 8, 9 p.m. But we will see consistent snowfall and consistent precipitation falling in some form, at least, all day tomorrow. Like I said, we'll hope that this maybe changes a little bit between now and then and something happens. But it did take our snowfall down a little bit and push that north. So if you want a really, really good snowfall, you know, like I said, once again, I think that your best area is going to be this area right here. Is probably going to see the most snowfall out of anybody, and that's just the way that the storm has set itself up. It's going to dump a ton of snow up there. This is going to carry up into the Ohio Valley, all the way up into the Great Lakes. I don't think that it's going to be a super huge storm once it gets up there. You guys will see some more snowfall, especially some lake effect snow up there around the Great Lakes. You can see where that lake just eats that moisture up, and then it's going to continue to dump behind it. This is going to send some snow up to our friends up in New York, but I'm more concerned with the potential for the ice accumulation and freezing rain here. You can see just how close this line gets to Asheville, North Carolina, and they've actually, you know, just been pounded over the past few months by severe weather events and the hurricane, and then more flooding not very long ago with another storm. Now it's gotten really, really cold up there on them, and they're going to get a pretty good snowfall here, and then they could see some mixed precipitation or even some freezing rain and sleet mixed in with it. Going to be some snow banding in the higher elevations up in the mountains as that storm moves off. But I think that it's, you know, just going to kind of fade off into the Atlantic Ocean over here and leave us alone. You can see that low pressure system starting to spin right there. But I don't think that this is going to be like an East Coast hugger or anything like that. It's not going to run up the coast here, run up, you know, back up into Boston or even Maine. You guys are going to see some snowfall from it. I mean, this thing's going to dump snow all the way up into Canada as it comes through. It is a really big storm system. You can see some frigid temps from the last system just now blowing off the coast over there, just off the coast of Boston. I think that it's really calmed down a lot. Like I said, my biggest concern is this area right here. You can see this pink moving through. This pink is not good, guys. So even though you get that snow on top of it, that mixed precipitation there, it could become an issue for roads, trees, power lines, stuff like that. Mainly worried about the power lines and the roads, but there could be, especially this right here coming through the backside, this freezing rain and this burst of sleet. Hopefully this changes, but if you live in Madison County or Huntsville, I want you to go ahead and just be ready for the low chance that you could lose power in some places due to ice accumulations. Other than that, everybody enjoy the snow, get your sleds ready, make sure that you're stocked up for whatever you need to get through this. I imagine some places in the southeast here, didn't mean to pull that up. I imagine some places in the southeast here, so there's a lot of cold air behind this, so you guys are probably going to see that snowfall accumulation stay on the ground and then still have some issues with travel in this area that I've highlighted down here. But right here, I think you're still going to see snow accumulations all the way up into maybe Monday or Tuesday, and that's going to persist and stay on the ground before it starts to melt, because we do have a very, very frigid blast of polar air coming in behind this, so it's going to get colder. Right now, the temperatures are just a little bit above where they need to be for this snow to start sticking instantly, especially here in the Tennessee Valley. So look at this. Let's see, the H8. Yeah, we're on the 18Z. The 19Z still hasn't loaded all the way yet. So as this comes through, you can see this extremely frigid polar air up here. We've still got, and these are real temps. And we've got extremely frigid air up here. And it's going to hold on, and it's going to stay there for a little while. We've got some more coming down, coming into Colorado, coming off of the Rockies here. And like I said, that air is going to persist and come behind this system. So as that system comes down, you can see this frigid air behind it. And 5 a.m. on the 11th, you can expect temperatures in Little Rock to be around 15 degrees. Temperatures up around Wichita to be in the single digits there. With the wind chills, you could even be in the negatives. 20, 21 degrees around Indianapolis. Nashville, you guys are going to be around 30 degrees, 29 degrees, something like that. Wind chills are going to bring that down a little bit. North Alabama, Huntsville, you're going to be around 29 degrees. For my hometown in Athens, dead center, Going to be around 29 degrees. Now, historically, we have seen a little interaction with the Tennessee River and the Mississippi River with snowstorms, so that could pick up a little more precipitation and dump some kind of miniature lake effect snow close to the rivers, especially on the eastern side of those rivers where it picks up that moisture. That is a possibility, so we'll be watching for that. We will be on the ground live tomorrow covering multiple counties here in North Alabama from Florence to Huntsville, and we'll be live streaming and giving you video updates as we can on road conditions, snow accumulations, and just fun things going on in the snow since we don't get to see snow a lot. I don't want you guys to worry about this as super light. I want you to enjoy it. I want you to have fun, take your kids out, go sledding, make snowmen, have snowball fights if you can. But like I said, under this line here, you need to be, just in preparation for a little bit of ice accumulation because it is possible, and some impacted roadways. As that ice starts to fall into Friday evening around 8, 9 o'clock after it gets dark, those roads could start to begin to get very treacherous, very slippery. As that mixed precipitation hits the surface, it's going to freeze. Right now, ground temps are about 32.5 degrees here in Athens. I'm not sure about Huntsville, but they're all pretty close to that. It's warming up a little bit today with a high of about 40 degrees, so that is going to let those ground temps warm up to about 34, 35 degrees. So expect the snow to not stick at first. It's going to have to cool the ground off a little bit, and then we're going to start seeing those accumulations, especially here in North Alabama into the Tennessee Valley right here. So everybody just, kind of watch the forecast as they come out tomorrow. We're to the point now where the models don't really mean much. We have an idea of where it's going to go, but it's going to be hard to tack down those totals. So make sure that you are tuned into your local meteorologist for your local forecast or your local weather station for, enhanced specific data and forecasts for your area. But overall, that is it. I expect we can go over total snowfall here. I can just about tell you where it's at. Like I said, right here, this center right here, just west of Little Rock to Memphis, actually from just south of OKC to Memphis, probably going to see the most accumulations of snowfall. You guys are really going to get pounded by snow, and I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, to see 7 or 12 inches in those areas. So as this pans out here, we go into the evening tonight at 9 p.m. We're already starting to see 3 to 4 inches in southeastern Oklahoma, and we could see up to an inch of accumulation in Dallas, Texas by the end of the night tonight. And I wouldn't be surprised to see 2 or maybe even 3 inches. Got some snow falling up here in Amarillo, and you guys are getting a good little burst of snow. By nightfall tonight, you guys could see up to 4 inches of snow, Canyon, Borger, Pampa, even all the way up to Perrytown, and this could stretch all the way as far south as Fort Sumner and Roswell, but it really just depends. We'll have to see how it plays out. Like I said, not a bunch of historical data to go with this right here, but I also wouldn't be surprised to see 5 or 6 inches of snow in Amarillo, Texas by 9 to 10 p.m. tonight. Just southeast of OKC, you guys are getting blasted in OKC and Norman. You can expect to see maybe 1.5 to 2 inches of accumulation. But once again, there, just depending on how this back side of this snow band feeds and how much it dumps, I wouldn't be surprised to see 3 inches on the ground by 9, 10 o'clock tonight for the greater OKC area right here. Southeast Oklahoma is absolutely going to get blasted here, though. I wouldn't be surprised to see 7 or 8 inches in some spots right here, especially just west of Hot Springs, south of Fort Smith as you cross over into Oklahoma out of Arkansas. Little Rock, you could see up to an inch, inch and a half by 9 p.m. tonight, but your snow is going to continue to carry on. You guys aren't even going to get started yet. You're going to wake up in the morning and wonder what happened. Going through the night, you can see that this snowfall is just absolutely dumping it here. Went a little bit too far. So 6 a.m. in the morning, we could expect to start to see snowfall as far east as Florence, Alabama, and could even start to see a little bit of accumulations in Huntsville, Limestone County, down into Morgan County, Moulton, Decatur. And you could even start to see some flurries in as far south as Montgomery, Alabama here, but I wouldn't count on it. I think that the models are definitely over-exaggerating that line of precipitation change, so I expect it to be actually a little bit more south. So if you live north of this line, when you wake up in the morning, you may already have some snow on the ground. Northwestern Alabama, you can definitely expect to see 1/2 inch to an inch of accumulation by 6 a.m. in the morning. But like I said, our friends over here in Arkansas are absolutely going to get jolted. By 6 a.m. in the morning, I wouldn't be surprised if there is 13 or 14, maybe even 15 inches of snow on the ground here in extreme western Arkansas going into extreme western Oklahoma. Fort Smith, you could even see 8 or 9 inches in the morning. It really just depends on how much snow this thing pumps out. But I think that, it's going to be a pretty significant snowfall. By 6 a.m. in the morning, you could even see snowfall as far south as just west of Austin, Texas here, in Fredericksburg, Kerrville, Brady, Brownwood. You guys could get some snow. Cleburne, all the way up into the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area. You guys could see 3 to 5 inches of snow on the ground in the morning, but also don't be surprised if you only get 2. These numbers can fluctuate either way, so you could see a couple inches more, you could see a couple inches less, and that's going to change in some areas over time. Really jealous for you guys right here. You guys are going to get an awesome snowfall. I think that you're going to see snowfall on the ground into the middle or late next week. That's going to persist and most likely stay there, as once again, the temps that come behind this are going to plummet pretty quickly down into the high teens for some of these areas, with wind chills even in the single digits are possible. Memphis, by 6 a.m. you guys are going to wake up and it's going to be white. And by 6 a.m. you might start seeing a little bit of precipitation accumulate in Nashville, but I expect it to just be flurries by then. If we fast forward a little bit more, by lunchtime you can see that snow has really made its way up into Tennessee, Kentucky, all the way up into Illinois, and even all the way up into the Great Lakes. Really, you can start seeing that lake effect snow as far north as Canada here, as this system really pushes its way north and just completely dominates with that cold air behind it. Depending on that cold air injection into this storm, more areas up here in Kansas and Missouri could see more snow than is forecasted, but you guys should wake up with most of the state of Missouri white in the morning, and I feel really bad for you guys right up here that's not getting any of this for real. Just going to have to get in the car and shoot south, I guess, and try to have a good time. St. Louis, going to wake up about 6 a.m. You may have about 1 inch of snow on the ground, but it's probably going to dump more than this. I'm pretty confident. By 1 o'clock, you could see 3 or 4 inches possible. Just depends on how far that core pushes north between now and tomorrow at lunchtime. Fast forward a little bit more to the end of this HRRR run, you can see that by 9 p.m. we've had snow make its way all the way up here into the Appalachian